Now, just now, I was saying that people sometimes like to pray to the Buddha and to the Bodhisattvas and ask for this and that. There is a sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya where the Buddha said very clearly, the Buddha said, there are several things that living beings want, or people want. For example, people want to be happy, people want to have long life, people want to be born beautiful, to be born into a good family, a rich family, and then people want to be reborn after death into a very good place of rebirth. All these things, the Buddha said, are desirable, but very hard to obtain. And then the Buddha said very clearly, these things that we want and difficult to get, they are not to be gotten by prayers and vows. The Buddha said prayers and vows will not get us these things that we want. The Buddha said if prayers and vows can get us these things that we want, then why is there still so much suffering in the world? You can see in the world almost everybody prays for this and for that, always going to the temple. But the Buddha said that's not the way to get what we want. Otherwise, there will be less dukkha in the world. Dukkha in the world never decreases. It's always about the same. In spite of so many Buddhas having come, in spite of so many Bodhisattvas having come, you find there's still a lot of animals, there's still a lot of ghosts, there's still a lot of beings in hell. So, here is a very clear advice from the Buddha that prayers and vows do not get us what we want. Then the Buddha said, if you want something, you must walk the path that leads you to get what you want. For example, like here, we are in Telok Intan. If you want to go to Singapore, there's no point if you walk. Singapore is the south of Telok Intan. There's no point if you walk towards the north and make a vow that you'll reach Singapore, because you'll never reach Singapore. So if you want to reach Singapore, you must walk in the direction of the south. Then you walk in the southern direction without praying, without making a vow. One day you will naturally arrive in Singapore because you are walking in the right direction. So similarly, the Buddha said, if we want to have long life, we should not kill, should not take other living beings' life. If we want to be born beautiful, we must not always throw tempers, get angry so much, because every time we get angry, we become very fierce, and then our face contorts and becomes very fierce. And naturally, you make it a habit, the face always contorting and becoming so fierce and ugly, and next time you'll be born ugly. So if you want to be born beautiful, the Buddha's advice is to be very chinchai. Then the Buddha said, if we want to be born intelligent, smart, we should inquire. If there's something we don't know, don't keep quiet. We should make inquiry, investigation to understand what we don't know. And then also it helps if we don't drink liquor, because if we drink liquor, it damages our brain cells. And the third way of being intelligent is to meditate, because if we meditate, we cultivate our mind. Our mind is like a computer, If we don't meditate, if we sleep too much, many sections of our brain shut down, like the various circuits shutting down, So when you meditate after a long time, you find like currents going in your brain, all the circuits starting to energize. So it's quite interesting. So this is concerning karma. For example, if we want to be born or reborn into a good family, well-to-do family where people sort of look up to us, then we should be humble. We should not look down on other people. For example, we should respect our elders, our parents, and our aunties and uncles and our grandparents and our teachers and our monks, etc. If we pay due respect to those worthy of respect, next time we might be reborn. There's a very good chance that we'll be reborn into a family where people will look up to us. So this is all concerning Kamma. Now, if a person does not do the action to sort of bring you to what you want, it's just like a worker, he does not do his work, and then he pleads for the boss to give him the salary. The boss definitely will not give him the salary because he has not done his work. But if he were to do 1 month's, the complete month's work, without begging the boss for the pay, at the end of the month, the boss will naturally give him the pay. So that's just like the working of karma. If we do the necessary action, we will get the corresponding fruit without having to pray, without having to ask for it.